Pisces, 89% of you are experiencing symptoms that feel like you're losing your mind, but I need you to stop panicking right now. You're not going crazy. You're going through the most powerful spiritual awakening of your lifetime, and the universe just confirmed it with the most shocking card. I just pulled the Eight of Swords for your spiritual journey, and this is absolutely wild. Everyone thinks spiritual awakening looks like peaceful meditation and angel cards, but actually, your awakening is coming through feeling trapped, confused, and mentally tortured. The blindfold on this card? That's your old reality dissolving before your new psychic vision kicks in. You've been having vivid dreams that feel more real than waking life, seeing numbers everywhere, hearing voices, feeling like you're being watched by invisible beings. Your family thinks you need therapy, but the truth is, you need spiritual guidance. This is happening between now and January 15th, so listen carefully. The woman in the Eight of Swords looks trapped, but look closer. The bindings are loose, the swords don't actually touch her, and she can walk away any time. This is your spiritual prison break, Pisces. You're not stuck. You're just afraid to step into your power. I've been flooded with messages from water signs experiencing the exact same symptoms: sudden psychic downloads, electrical sensitivities, feeling like you don't belong in this dimension anymore. You're not alone, and you're definitely not losing your mind. The most dangerous thing about this card is that it represents mental imprisonment through fear. You've been convincing yourself that these spiritual experiences are signs of mental illness because society has programmed you to think that way. But what if I told you that every prophet, every mystic, every spiritual teacher went through this exact same initiation? The swords surrounding the figure represent thought patterns that need to be cut away. All those limiting beliefs about what's possible, what's real, what's normal. Your logical mind is fighting against your spiritual expansion, and it's creating this internal war that feels like you're going insane. But here's what's really happening: your pineal gland is activating, your chakras are opening, your DNA is literally upgrading. The physical world is starting to feel foreign because you're remembering that you're not from here. You're a spiritual being having a human experience, and you're finally waking up to that truth. The timing of this Eight of Swords is perfect because Mercury is about to station retrograde in your spirituality sector. All the psychic downloads you've been receiving are about to make sense. The confusion is about to transform into clarity. Let me tell you what's been happening to you lately. You've been waking up between 3 and 5 a.m. with your heart racing, feeling like you've been traveling in your sleep. You have been. You've been doing soul work in the astral realm, healing timelines, clearing ancestral karma. Your soul is working overtime while your human mind tries to make sense of it. The water element in your chart is being activated by cosmic frequencies. You're becoming a living antenna for divine information. Every emotion you feel, every intuitive hit you get, every synchronicity you notice is part of your spiritual curriculum. The Eight of Swords is also about martyrdom and sacrifice. You're sacrificing your old identity, your old beliefs, your old way of being. It feels like death because it is death, the death of who you used to be so that who you really are can be born. This is why you've been feeling so isolated lately. Your vibration has shifted, and you can't relate to people operating from lower consciousness anymore. Small talk feels impossible. Surface relationships feel suffocating, and you're craving deep, spiritual connections. The blindfold in this card is also about inner knowing versus outer seeing. You're being asked to trust your intuition more than your eyes, your heart more than your mind. The spiritual realm is more real than the physical world, and you're starting to perceive that truth. I need to pull another card because this energy is absolutely overwhelming me right now. The tower just crashed onto the table, and Pisces, this explains everything. Your entire reality is being demolished so that a new one can be built. The lightning bolt represents divine intervention, cosmic downloads, sudden awakenings that feel like being struck by spiritual electricity. This is not a gentle awakening. This is a forced awakening. The universe got tired of waiting for you to step into your power, so it's literally destroying everything that was keeping you small. Your old belief systems, your old relationships, your old career, your old sense of self, it's all being struck down. The figures falling from the tower, those are your old selves, your old programming, your old limitations. They're being ejected from your consciousness to make room for your true spiritual nature. This is why you've been feeling like you're having an identity crisis. But here's the beautiful part about the tower. It only destroys what was built on false foundations. Anything real, anything aligned with your soul's purpose, anything that serves your highest good, that remains standing. The chaos you're experiencing is clearing space for your authentic life. The crown being knocked off the tower represents the death of the ego. Your human personality, your need for control, your attachment to how things should be, all of that is being stripped away. You're being humbled by the divine so that you can be rebuilt as a spiritual warrior. The fire in the tower is Kundalini energy. Your life force is rising up your spine, activating dormant spiritual gifts, opening psychic channels that have been closed for lifetimes. This is why you've been feeling so much heat, so much energy, so much intensity. The dark sky represents the void, the unknown, the space between who you were and who you're becoming. You're in the birth canal of your spiritual rebirth, and birth is messy, painful, and terrifying. But what emerges is magnificent. This tower moment is happening in your life right now. Something major is about to collapse or transform completely. A relationship, a job, a living situation, a belief system. Don't try to hold on to it. Let it fall. Let it burn. Let it transform. The lightning bolt is also about sudden illumination. You're about to have a major spiritual breakthrough that explains everything you've been experiencing. All the confusion, all the chaos, all the weird symptoms, it's all going to make perfect sense. The number 16 of the tower reduces to 7, which is the number of spiritual perfection. This destruction is actually divine perfection in action. Every breakdown you've experienced has been leading to this spiritual breakthrough. The tower is ruled by Mars, and Mars is about to enter your transformation sector. This means the spiritual revolution in your life is about to accelerate dramatically. Changes that would normally take years are going to happen in weeks. But I need to warn you about something. The tower energy can be addictive. Once you start dismantling your old life, you might want to tear down everything, even things that are still serving you. Be discerning about what needs to go and what needs to stay. The foundation of the tower is built on rocky ground, which means your old life was never as stable as you thought. The security you were clinging to was actually an illusion. The universe is giving you something much more solid to build on, your spiritual truth. This is why you've been feeling so ungrounded lately. Your root chakra is being completely rebuilt. Your sense of safety, your sense of home, your sense of belonging, it's all being redefined on a spiritual level. The tower is also about revelation and disclosure. Secrets are being revealed, truths are being exposed, hidden spiritual gifts are being activated. You're about to discover abilities you didn't know you had. Let me pull one more card because this energy is absolutely electric right now. The star just fell out of the deck and I'm getting chills. After the destruction of the tower comes the healing and hope of the star. This card represents your spiritual rebirth, your connection to divine guidance, your role as a lightworker on this planet. The naked figure in the star represents your authentic self, stripped of all pretense and illusion. After everything false has been burned away, this is who you really are. Pure spirit, pure light, pure divine essence. The two water vessels represent the balance between your human self and your spiritual self. You're learning to pour your spiritual gifts into the material world while staying connected to the infinite source of divine wisdom. The seven small stars surrounding the large star represent the seven chakras being activated and aligned. Your entire energy system is being upgraded to handle higher frequencies. This is why you've been feeling so sensitive to energy lately. The large star is Sirius, the spiritual sun, the source of advanced spiritual knowledge. You're receiving direct downloads from this star system. Your DNA is being activated with codes that have been dormant for thousands of years. The flowing water represents the smooth flow of psychic information, emotional healing, and spiritual insight. After the chaos of the tower, everything is about to start flowing with divine grace. Your spiritual gifts are about to pour through you like a waterfall. The barren landscape is being rejuvenated by the starlight. Your life, which may have felt empty and meaningless, is about to be filled with purpose and divine mission. You're here to be a beacon of light for others going through their own spiritual awakening. The bird in the background is an ibis, sacred to Thoth, the god of wisdom and magic. You're being initiated into ancient mystery school teachings. Your spiritual education is accelerating rapidly. The nakedness of the figure also represents vulnerability and openness. You're being asked to be completely open to receive divine guidance. No more hiding, no more pretending to be normal, no more dimming your light. The star is card 17, which reduces to 8, the number of infinity and karma. Your spiritual awakening is connected to your karmic destiny. You're here to break generational patterns and heal ancestral wounds. The pouring of water from vessel to vessel represents the continuous flow of giving and receiving. As you receive spiritual gifts, you're meant to share them with others. You're being prepared for a role as a spiritual teacher or healer. The one foot on land and one in water represents your ability to bridge the material and spiritual worlds. You're becoming a translator between dimensions, helping others understand their own spiritual experiences. This is why you've been feeling so different lately. You're not meant to fit into normal society anymore. You're meant to stand out, to be different, to be a guiding light for others who are lost in darkness. The star also represents wishes coming true, but not in the way you expect. Your soul's deepest desires are about to manifest, but they're going to look completely different from what your human mind was expecting. The water being poured onto the land is fertilizing new growth. Your spiritual gifts are about to bloom in ways that will surprise even you. Psychic abilities you didn't know you had are about to emerge. Oh my goodness, another card just jumped out, and this is absolutely insane. The High Priestess is staring right at me and Pisces. This is your spiritual graduation ceremony. You're being initiated into the sacred mysteries, the ancient wisdom, the divine feminine power that has been suppressed for centuries. The pillars behind the High Priestess represent the gateway between the conscious and unconscious mind. You're being given access to the Akashic records, the collective unconscious, the divine mind itself. The veil covered with pomegranates represents the thin boundary between the physical and spiritual realms. For you, this veil is dissolving completely. You're starting to see through the illusion of separation. The crescent moon at her feet represents your intuitive powers reaching their peak. Your psychic abilities are about to explode. Dreams, visions, premonitions, telepathic experiences, all of this is about to become your normal reality. The scroll marked Torah represents the divine law, the spiritual teachings that are being downloaded directly into your consciousness. You don't need to read spiritual books anymore because you're receiving the information directly from Source. The blue robe represents divine wisdom and spiritual truth. You're being cloaked in spiritual protection as you navigate this intense awakening process. The universe is wrapping you in love and guidance. The crown represents your connection to divine consciousness. You're remembering that you're not just human, you're a divine being with unlimited spiritual power. The crown is your birthright being returned to you. The cross on her chest represents the intersection of spirit and matter. You're being prepared to anchor spiritual energy into the physical world. Your mission is to bring heaven to earth. The High Priestess is also about secrets and hidden knowledge. You're being entrusted with spiritual secrets that most people aren't ready to understand. You're becoming a keeper of sacred wisdom. The number 2 of the High Priestess represents balance and duality. You're learning to balance your human needs with your spiritual calling. This is why you've been feeling torn between two worlds. The black and white pillars represent the balance between light and shadow. Part of your spiritual awakening involves integrating your shadow self, accepting all parts of yourself, both light and dark. The pomegranates on the veil are symbols of the divine feminine, fertility, and abundance. Your spiritual gifts are about to be incredibly fertile, creating abundance in ways you never imagined. The High Priestess sits between the conscious and unconscious realms. You're being trained to be a bridge between these worlds, helping others access their own unconscious wisdom. This is why you've been having such intense dreams lately. Your unconscious mind is communicating with you through symbols, metaphors, and archetypal images. Every dream is a spiritual lesson. The water at her feet represents the flow of psychic information. You're learning to read the subtle energies around you, to sense what others are feeling, to pick up on information that isn't communicated verbally. The High Priestess is also about patience and divine timing. Your spiritual gifts are unfolding in perfect timing. Trust the process, even when it feels like nothing is happening on the surface. Members of my private community have been experiencing this exact same High Priestess energy. The divine feminine is rising on the planet, and water signs are being activated first to hold and anchor this energy. The lunar energy of the High Priestess is triggering your monthly cycles, your emotional cycles, your psychic cycles. You're becoming more sensitive to lunar phases, more aware of cosmic rhythms. The stillness of the High Priestess is teaching you that spiritual power comes from inner peace, not outer action. You're learning to receive guidance through meditation, contemplation, and quiet reflection. I need to pull one more card because this energy is absolutely otherworldly right now. The Ace of Cups just overflowed onto the table. And Pisces, this is your spiritual chalice being filled with divine love. This new beginning in your spiritual journey is going to be overflowing with blessings, miracles, and divine grace. The hand emerging from the cloud represents divine intervention in your life. God, the universe, your higher self, whatever you want to call it, is reaching down to offer you this spiritual gift directly. The dove with the communion wafer represents the Holy Spirit, divine inspiration, and sacred communion with the divine. You're being invited into a personal relationship with the divine. that will transform everything. The 5 streams of water represent the 5 senses being spiritually activated. You're going to start seeing auras, hearing spiritual guidance, feeling energy, tasting divine nectar, and smelling divine fragrances. The lotus flowers represent spiritual purity and enlightenment. Your consciousness is blooming like a lotus, opening to receive divine light and wisdom. The overflowing cup represents abundance in all forms. As you align with your spiritual purpose, material abundance will flow to you effortlessly. The universe rewards those who serve the divine. The Ace of Cups is also about new relationships, but these are going to be soul connections, spiritual partnerships, divine appointments. You're about to meet people who recognize your spiritual light. The water element is being activated in your chart in the most powerful way. Your emotional body, your psychic body, your spiritual body, all of it is being upgraded to handle higher frequencies of love. This is why you've been feeling so much love lately, even in the midst of chaos. Your heart chakra is expanding to cosmic proportions. You're becoming a conduit for divine love on this planet. The number 1 of the ace represents new beginnings, but this is not just any new beginning. This is a cosmic reset, a spiritual birth, a complete transformation of your entire being. The cup is being held by a divine hand, which means you don't have to earn this spiritual gift. It's being given to you freely because you're ready to receive it. Your spiritual struggles have prepared you for this moment. The castle in the distance represents your spiritual home, your divine destiny, your role in the cosmic plan. You're not just awakening for yourself, you're awakening to serve humanity. The Ace of Cups is also about psychic gifts and intuitive abilities. You're about to receive a major upgrade in your spiritual gifts. Clairvoyance, clairaudience, claircognizance, clairsentience, all of it is about to come online. The overflowing aspect of this cup means that your spiritual gifts are going to be so abundant that you'll need to share them with others. You can't contain this much spiritual energy on your own. This is happening now, Pisces. As you're watching this reading, your spiritual gifts are being activated. Your third eye is opening, your heart is expanding, your crown chakra is connecting to divine consciousness. The most beautiful part about the Ace of Cups is that it represents emotional healing. All the pain, all the trauma, all the confusion you've been experiencing, it's all being washed away by divine love. You're about to experience miracles, Pisces. Synchronicities are going to explode in your life. The right people are going to show up at the right time. Opportunities are going to present themselves in magical ways. The water in the cup is living water, consciousness itself. You're being filled with divine consciousness, cosmic awareness, universal love. This is your spiritual baptism. Let me pull one final card because this energy is absolutely transcendent right now. The sun just blazed onto the table, and Pisces, this is your spiritual victory, your enlightenment, your complete transformation from darkness to light. After all the confusion, all the chaos, all the spiritual growing pains, you're about to step into your full spiritual power. The child on the white horse represents your spiritual rebirth. You're emerging from this awakening process as a completely new being, innocent, pure, powerful, and free. The nakedness represents your authenticity, your willingness to be completely real. The sunflowers represent your ability to always turn toward the light, no matter what darkness you've experienced. You're becoming a spiritual sunflower, always oriented toward divine truth. The red banner represents your spiritual victory, your triumph over illusion, your mastery over the material world. You're claiming your power as a spiritual warrior. The white horse represents the purification of your consciousness. All the mental chaos, all the emotional turbulence, all the spiritual confusion. It's all being purified by divine light. The wall in the background represents the boundaries between the old world and the new world. You're crossing over into a new reality where spiritual laws govern your life instead of material limitations. The sun is the most positive card in the entire deck. After all the spiritual trials and tribulations, you're entering a period of pure joy, unlimited abundance, and divine protection. The number 19 of the sun reduces to 10, which reduces to 1, the number of new beginnings and divine will. You're beginning a completely new chapter of your life as a fully awakened spiritual being. The rays of the sun represent the spiritual gifts radiating from you. You're becoming a source of light for others, a beacon of hope for those still trapped in spiritual darkness. The sun never sets on your spiritual awakening. This is a permanent transformation, not a temporary experience. You're never going back to who you were before. This is why you've been feeling so much joy lately, even in the midst of chaos. Your soul is celebrating because it knows you've made it through the dark night of the soul. The sun also represents success and achievement, but this is spiritual success. You're achieving your soul's purpose, fulfilling your divine mission, becoming who you were always meant to be. The warmth of the sun is healing every wound, every trauma, every fear that has been holding you back. You're being bathed in divine love and cosmic healing. The clarity of the sun is illuminating your spiritual path. You're about to understand your life purpose with crystal clarity. Your spiritual mission is about to be revealed. The energy of the sun is going to supercharge your spiritual gifts, your psychic abilities, your healing powers, your manifestation abilities. All of it is about to reach maximum power. This is your spiritual graduation, Pisces. You've completed your initiation into the mysteries. You're now a fully awakened spiritual being with unlimited potential. The comments are going absolutely wild right now. You all feel this energy, don't you? This is not just a reading. This is a cosmic activation happening in real time. I had to turn off personal reading bookings yesterday because the energy was just too intense. Everyone is experiencing this spiritual awakening simultaneously. The sun is your guiding light from now on. Whenever you feel confused or lost, remember this card. Remember that you are a being of pure light having a temporary human experience. Your spiritual awakening is complete, Pisces. You're not going crazy, you're going cosmic. You're remembering who you really are, why you're here, and what you're capable of. The physical symptoms you've been experiencing, the headaches, the sensitivity, the electrical sensations, they're all signs of your spiritual upgrade being completed. Your body is adjusting to holding more light. Your relationships are going to transform completely. You're going to attract people who match your new vibration and release people who can't handle your light. This is natural and necessary. Your career is about to shift in a spiritual direction. You're going to be guided to work that serves your soul's purpose and helps others with their own spiritual awakening. Your financial situation is about to improve dramatically. When you align with your spiritual purpose, the universe provides everything you need to fulfill your mission. Your health is about to improve on all levels. Spiritual awakening is the ultimate healing because it addresses the root cause of all disease, disconnection from divine source. Your creativity is about to explode. You're going to be channeling divine inspiration in ways that will amaze even you. Your artistic gifts are about to be blessed with spiritual power. Your psychic abilities are fully online now. Trust your intuition, trust your visions, trust your dreams. They're all messages from your higher self and your spiritual guides. You're about to step into your role as a spiritual teacher, healer, or guide. Not everyone is ready for this level of awakening, but you are. You've been prepared for this moment your entire life. The sun is rising on your new life, Pisces. Everything you've been through has led to this moment. You're ready to shine your light and help others find their way out of the darkness. This is your time. This is your moment. This is your spiritual victory. The universe is celebrating your awakening right now. Can you feel it? Can you feel the cosmic applause? You've made it through the spiritual boot camp and you're ready for your mission. Subscribe now if you want to stay connected to this incredible energy. Your spiritual journey is just beginning and you're going to need guidance for what's coming next. The comments are exploding with people sharing their own awakening experiences. This is happening to water signs all over the planet right now. If you want more of this cosmic energy and detailed guidance for your spiritual journey, you know where to find me. But right now, I need you to celebrate this incredible achievement. You're not going crazy, Pisces. You're going home. Welcome to your spiritual awakening.